Hey guys, I'm CLINTFLAIRWOOO, welcome back to another Division 2 build video, and today I am bringing you my perfect tech support build for PvE, and it absolutely wrecks NPCs with bombs galore. We're talking Seekers, we're talking drones, and we're talking the BTSU gloves, and the amount of damage you can output with this build is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, I can rinse through NPCs like butter due to the fact there are explosions here, left, right and centre. It is so much fun. I've ran this with clanmates, I've ran this with randoms, I've ran this solo, and I have had so much fun with this build. And as you can see in the gameplay, I'm rolling with the Pestilence, which has a decent amount of damage given this is a skill build. Now, as you can see in the gameplay, this hits very, very hard. Seeker Mines, once fully procced, go up to about 1.7 million damage. Crazy. And my drones, and it's not a maxed out drone. Do not get me wrong, it is not perfect, and it's doing over 2 million damage to elite enemies. Yeah, it's crazy. So with this build, again, in a group, it's fantastic. Solo, it's also fantastic because of the versatility it offers, and you are blowing the shit up consistently with this build. Now, PvE, this is great. Even try this in the DZ against other players. It will be super fun. You may die a little bit, don't get me wrong, but dealing damage is what this build does. And yes, it's a PvE beast. Let's take a look at my perfect tech support build, guys. Let's do this. Hey guys, yes, I'm CLINTFLAIRWOOO, and I'm back once again like the Renegade Master and all that jazz. And today I'm bringing you perfect tech support backpack, which is crazy for PvE content because you are blowing this shit up everywhere, and that's exactly what I love in this game. And couple this with other players that run with Seeker Mines, the NPCs have no chance whatsoever because you will blow them up easily and consistently, and the amount of damage you can output with this particular build is mental, and I'll demonstrate that at the end of the video. Let's look at the build. And here we go, guys, I'm rolling with the Nerf gun specialization, and I'm rolling with this because it gets me easily to that fantastic 3k skill power that the build needs to unlock every mod possible in the game. And that's what you want to be. You want to be at that point where you're at 3k skill power, so you can unlock exactly what you need for any build, which is awesome. Now with this, as you can see, I am rolling with 3 offensive stats, 3 defensive stats, and 13 utility. Now, we'll look at my base damage on the Pestilence, yes, the exotic LMG, which is insane. And I said this before Title Update 6, it is crazy, and yet it bloody is, it's mental. So if you have one, dust it off, use it in PvE, and watch the fart gas just absolutely explode. Sit back and enjoy the fun. Pestilence, 21.8k damage, that's nice. But obviously with that, I'm going to get an amazing amount of damage from the fart gas. Any enemies in that cloud are screwed. It's simple as that. The RPM is 605, my armor is 236.1k, my health is 72.7k, which is a little bit high for me on a skill build in all fairness, which means I'm not as squishy, and my skill power is 3,332. Let's go for the gear. Okay guys, my mask is a China Light Industries Corporation mask, and with that grants me that 10% explosive damage. Key. Integral, pivotal, crucial, whatever you want to say, you have to have that one-piece China Light, wherever it may be on the build, because it's essential for that damage output against any enemy. It's crazy. Now, damage to elites are 41%, skill haste 19%, and the talent destructive, which is 40% explosive damage. And that's what you need. So as you can see, there's 50% explosive damage on the build. The skill haste could be a tad higher, don't get me wrong. The damage to elites could go up to 55%. I'm sitting at 41, so you know now that there is room for improvement on this build. And it kicks ass as it stands. So if you're going to maximise this, or going to optimise it as much as you can, just imagine the sheer damage you can deal with to NPCs is mental. Now the chest piece is Alp's Summit Armament. I'm using that because of the 2-piece bonus. The first one is the 20% skill haste, and the second one is 10% skill power, and that gets me over that elusive 3k. Now 476 skill power, a really nice chunk of health, which is 45,682, and the talent hardened, which is 15% armor. That grants me a little bit more survivability in PvE. At the end of the day, I don't want to be sitting around about 200k armor. I would like a little bit more. So 236k is decent, and that's for a skill build. That's okay. It's a good place to be. So that's where I want to be on this build. So in terms of the mods, it is weapon damage, LMG damage, rifle damage. I'm using that one just for the LMG damage of 5%. The utility mod slot is skill power, headshot, kill XP, and because we know that LMGs are quite accurate, and again, I want to get as many caches as possible, then yes, headshot, kill XP is decent, and explosive damage of 2.5%, and all wades into the explosive damage on the build. Armor, total armor, and explosive resistance. Onto the holster, and it is a Wyvern holster. That's a little bit of critted damage. It is what it is. It's not essential, but it's the best piece out because it gives me this really nice 427 skill power and 46% skill haste. And the mod is skill power, bleed damage, extra outgoing healing. Let's have a look if I can change that. I'm sure I can somewhere. Let's take a look. There you go. We're going to go for some headshot kill XP to make this build a little bit stronger than that. It's even better. So you can see now headshot kill XP and grenade damage, which is nice. The knee pads. The knee pads is Providence Defense. Brand set 1 of 3, and I've got that 10% skill power. The attribute is 20% skill haste and hard hitting, which is 25% damage to elites. And the mod is weapon damage, LMG damage, and rifle damage again. So that's an extra 10% on the build. And the BTSU gloves, which is elemental gadgetry, skills that apply status effects gain plus 50% status effect duration and 50% skill haste. And whenever you apply a status effect, your gloves become infused with that effect for 60 seconds. While infused, you gain 10% skill damage, 10% skill healing and repair, and 10% skill duration for each utility you have. Applying the same status effect while infused does not refresh the infusion. As you can see, I've got 13 utility stats. That's 130% skill damage. Nice, exactly what I want on the build to deal some kick-ass damage. Charge proxies. Whenever you throw a skill, 1.25 seconds after landing, it creates an explosion applying the infused status effect to all enemies within 6 meters. Now, enemies affected by the infused status effect take 50% more damage from your skills. Nice, that's good again. And the mods is, I've gone for these purposely. So skill power, reload speed, extra outgoing healing. I want the reload speed. Skill power, burn damage, and yes, more reload speed, and armor, explosive resistance, and total armor. And the creme de la creme of the build, this is the second piece of Alp's Armament. This is my percussive maintenance high-end backpack, which is a perfect tech support backpack. And we just take a look at what we have. We have 561 skill power, 17% skill haste, which is a little bit shit, in all honesty. Now, this is a Cassie Mendoza Bender Classic. I purchased this yesterday thanks to some 2 awesome guys letting me know that it was available. I didn't. I try and avoid any vendor resets, so these guys letting me know that it was available, I had to get my ass down there and pick one of these up because having this is crazy. Now, kills by active skills and explosives grant 30% skill damage for 10 seconds. And given tech support on a standard backpack is 25%, that 5% skill power, skill damage, does pay dividends. So it's nice to have on the build. And then capacitive, which is 50% skill duration, which doesn't help this build, but the way it rolls is that this rolls with crit damage as the main attribute. I want skill power, so what I've done, I've re-rolled crit damage for skill power on the build, so I'm over that 3k. So what I will do is pick another one of these up and re-roll capacitive for a different skill. So for other skills, this may have a good effect. So for example, for a burn build, this would be perfect. Now the mods. We have skill power, reload speed, and explosive damage, which is really nice roll 1, exactly what I want on the build. Skill power, explosive damage, and increased kill XP of 3%. So that is a really, really nice backpack, guys. It's something I wholly recommend you get your ass, pick it up, and test this out, because it is really, really strong. Now, in terms of the weapons, the primary weapon is the Pestilence Exotic LMG. Now, it's a base damage of 21.8k, RPM is 605, there's 100 in a mag, reload time is 4.9 seconds, I have shaved a little bit off due to the mods. Plague of the Outcast. After hitting the same enemy 5 times, that enemy is inflicted with Plague of the Outcast for 10 seconds. Whenever an enemy with Plague of the Outcast is killed, they leave a toxic cloud for 5 seconds that deals 1000% weapon damage per second to anyone inside and inflicts them with Pestilence. Naughty, it really is, it's really cool. Pestilence. This debuff reduces healing received by 50% for 10 seconds, and whenever an enemy with Pestilence will be downed, they are instantly killed. The debuff is removed if the enemy is repaired to full armor, and Outcast Resilience will holstered gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, whenever you are affected by blind, bleed, or burning. Now, in terms of the mods, rate of fire, weapon handling, and stability, I mean, by all means, you can go for an AR which has some damage to elites on about 5% or 10% if you've got the right mod. Purposely, I have gone for this because it has so much value in a group. It's my honest opinion, it's the best weapon for PvE by a distance, and I genuinely really enjoy using the Pestilence LMG. If you have one, but for a skill build, you are going to be crazy. You're constantly dealing a lot of damage on this build when the fart gas kicks in. It's really good. Now, in terms of the secondaries, my military G36, I use this for Rooted. While equipped and in cover, all skill damage and healing is increased by 25% for 10 seconds. Buff is lost when next in cover. Can occur once per 60 seconds. These are the mods. Now, my sidearm is the 93R, and I use it just for the holstered talent, which is in Ribbon. While equipped, enemy kills have a 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns, can occur once every 60 seconds. And the mods, optimal range and critical hit chance. Now let's take a look at the skills. We'll start with the drone. It's the Bombardier drone. So, I've opted for this, which is a 20.2 second cooldown. Again, it's not got the greatest skill haste on the build. Explosion damage is 633k, which isn't the greatest because I've opted for a number of bombs, and that's 8 bombs. So there's a lot going to be dropped are NPCs, and that's more damage, in my opinion, than just having 4. So I like to spread these bad boys out to make sure you're hitting multiples at a time. So it is personal preference, but I've gone for extra bombs. Now, we just take a look at the mods. And now you can see 73.5% skill haste. It's only 2205. I have very bad luck or bad RNG farming for these. I could craft a few. Yes, I could. It's just having the time, in all honesty. I keep forgetting. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. This one has skill haste, which is average. This could be 20% better by ease. And then extra bombs is 2504. Got 4 of them. And damage 165%, and that's a 2476 mod. Guys, we know these could be better, and we just take a look what I have. They're not very good. I've got a good health one, but I don't want it for health. Damage one, you see there's some decent armor repair ones there, and a duration. And extra bombs, there's that one, but I could go for that damage to go up to 917,000. Yeah, that would be nice, but I've gone for the extra bombs. I like more bombs, more value. And as you see on my next skill, I've also opted for the same. But again, that can be improved. That's just a foundation or a base template to make sure you guys can make it even more powerful. And then Seeker Mines, I've opted for the cluster Seeker Mines. Now with these, there's a 14.3 second cooldown. The damage is 4,000, I wouldn't use them if they're 4,000, 435,551. There are 9 mines, blast radius is 4 meters, PvP damage is 108k, and the mods. Now these mods are nice mods. 195.7% skill haste, 96.2% damage, and 6 extra cluster mines, and I couldn't really wish for better mods, unless they are max, in all fairness, but they're good mods to use. So this is my Seekers, and we'll show you shortly how powerful these are. Now, we've seen this, we've seen the stats, let's look at the nitty gritty. So, my weapon damage is 21,826, no critted chance, there's some critted damage, and that's for Wyvern Wear and a few bits. Headshot damage is 65%, a range of 35 meters, my reload time is 4.9 seconds, I have a 13.5% reload speed bonus, stability 25%, LMG damage is 25%, again it's nothing special. If I did have a Petrov piece then that would be 35%, but I don't. And damage to elites is 66%. This could be 5% better if I had or was using an AR, but personally, you just can't look past the pestilence. It's awesome. Now the explosive damage is 59%, which is also very handy. Now let's do a quick demonstration in the range. So we'll get this on very hard. I just want to show you a few bits before we go into them, before I proc the BTSU gloves, so you can see the kind of base damage that we're looking at, and we'll start with the Seekers. Let's drop these bad boys. You can see that's about 800k, that's what we're looking at, and we see the BTSU gloves are not proc, there's no status effect, which is a little bit naff, so let's use these bad boys. Let's see how strong these are. And then again, 864k. Yeah, which is again decent. You know, it is what it is. That's again tech support procced as well. So let's just throw a grenade. Let's get the status effect rolling. BTSU gloves are procced. Now let's have a look at what Seekers can do. This is with no tech support. And we're looking again 1.24 million. Now let's pop the drone. And this is with tech support. 1.5 million, which is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. So again, there is a lot of value with these. Let's just pop in with some more Seekers. Let's see how good they are. Again, some decent numbers. For clusters, it's pretty strong. And given the mods are sexy and powerful, we're in a good place. The drones are nice. But again, we know with better mods, you're laughing all the way to the bank with these. 1.5 million. Again, and yeah, if it did go for the 4 mods, I'll wait for the cooldown on that bad boy, it will be even more stronger. Let's have a look. You see there, guys. Yeah, it does have a huge punch with the Seekers. And the drone could be super duper strong. Let's wait to change this up a little bit. So we'll go to the drone. And let's change the extra bombs, and what we're going to go for damage. And again, this is just a basic 2252, 150% damage mod. We'll just proc this first. As you can see, some nice damage there. BTSU gloves procced. Let's have a look. Again, 2 million damage there. It's nice. It is genuinely very, very nice. And I do like rolling with the drone. You get it right, get it spot on, you're laughing. Again, 1.8 million with the Seekers. So the power's there to do some crazy damage on this build. But let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Again, my mods on my drone are not perfect. They will be better. I need to grind my ass off to get some more. But let me know what you think of the build. See, just tell me what you think. Any ideas, any input? How are you rolling with Seekers in Title Update 6? And above all, if you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like. And if you want to see more Division 2 content, then please smash the sub button. Peace.